with a brain injury, the way that it's treated or the way that it's seen has traditionally and largely been seen as something that isn't taking into account the patient's emotional landscape around it, which bleeds into all of these invisible symptoms that you're talking about, that then the patient will ignore as well, because we have been, as you've been saying up until this point, very concerned with the acute part, which is incredibly important. People are surviving when they weren't, but what kind of a life are they then having, and how can we make that life as fulfilling and as recognizable as their own as possible?
So, there's good evidence that things like mood or emotional state will have an influence on motor recovery, so recovery of movement or recovery of language function. So all of these factors interact with one another, and that's what I mean by complex. So that's one reason why it's really important to know about these unseen symptoms. Fatigue is another great example. You can't put somebody into an intensive upper limb rehab program if they're experiencing quite severe fatigue. You can't do it, so you have to know about that. But the more obvious reason to know about these things is because they're debilitating symptoms in their own right. Stop people getting back to work. This will stop people getting back to leading the lives that they want to lead, whether it's with family, or whether it's their hobbies or work, or whatever. So it's really important to deal with all of these things. I guess this is, when people talk about the holistic approach, this is what we're talking about. This person is not just a weak arm or not just an aphasia. You have to take account of all of their symptoms and try and manage them all together. And that's why it's such a challenging, difficult, but potentially rewarding area.
Hugely rewarding, and also for not only the patients but the people who are around the patients, so the loved ones that they have, the carers that they have, the family that they have, that will also be going through their own period of change around the person that they love and that they care about, their world changing so dramatically. How can they best support them, and how can they then in turn be supported so as to support them as well as they can and understand? And I feel like that's another area that you and I have definitely spoken about a lot, and it's something that you really care about as well. Thank you so much to the incredible Professor Nick Ward for genuinely making me, as a brain injury survivor, feel that much better. Everything we can do to support this happening, to support recovery, and to support incredible people like Nick, make sure that brain injury survivors are full of hope. Stay on SameYou. We're going to be giving you guys as much information as we possibly can, and we're going to keep doing things like the digital recovery clinic, like Enroll. So every support that we get is just so gratefully received, and please know that we are doing everything we can to make sure that brain injury recovery is exactly where it needs to be. So thank you so much. Thank you again to Nick Ward, and take care, everyone.